Well, hello everybody. How you doing? Dave Fennoy here. It's a Wednesday, and of course that means Ask Dave Fennoy Anything. Well, here we are. What is this? Week 2 of lockdown, of all of us, pretty much being huddled in our homes, and for a lot of us who do voiceover, it's not that different. You got a home studio and you're just there, and I know for me sometimes it's that's usual for me. And get up in the morning, get cleaned up, walk the dogs, come down to my studio, and teach, work, audition, and get up the next day. More of same. It's always fun when I get to go out and work at some other studios. Let me say hello to a few folks. Hey, Christina Frank, how you doing? David Kelly, Alex Wood, what's going on, man? Michael Glover, Hamadi, Heather Gonzalez, and hey, Herb Merriweather, Isabella Tugman, good to see you again. Brian J., Karen Gerstmann. A couple things that I noticed in the news that Kevin Hart has decided that during the period of time that we are huddled in our homes, he is not going to dye his hair anymore, so the gray is beginning to show. And I noticed that Jim Carrey, in this same period, has decided to grow a beard. And may I just say, for both of them and to both of them, they're late to the party. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, boy. Wanted to talk a little bit today about home studios and setting up a home studio quickly and efficiently and not spending too much money on it, because I've gotten a lot of text, emails, Facebook messages asking, well, what equipment should I buy? How can I do this? I do voiceover, but I've been going out and recording in studios, and since nobody's going out anymore, I need to make this a bigger part of what I do for a living. Well, fortunately for those of you who are just jumping into this now, equipment is less than it has ever been. If you've got a computer, you're already miles ahead of the game, and of course, you've got a computer, don't you? So I'm going to suggest a couple of things. Microphone-wise, if you want something simple, small, that you can use for the rest of your life, not necessarily as your main microphone, but definitely as a travel mic, a mic in a pinch, I'm going to suggest the Apogee iPad mic. And just because it's an iPad mic doesn't mean it won't work with anything else. But it comes with connection not only for an iPad and Apple products, but also USB. And I think you might be able to get it for some other connection, but definitely USB and iPad. It's a great little mic. I think the prices have gone up around $300 now. They have a little older model and a newer model. I use the older model. It works just fine. The newer model, I think, is selling for about $350. You need to be in a room that does not have sound bouncing off the walls. That usually is the problem people have in a home studio or when they're just setting up to record, is the sound bounce, which makes you kind of echoey. There's a couple of ways to handle that. One, there is a product, Chaotica Eyeball. It's a big round foam ball. I think it costs too much myself, but it definitely works. It's about $250, and you just slip it over your microphone. As a matter of fact, wait a minute, let me show you one. I meant to have this standing by, and I kind of did. It didn't take too long. It's just a big round ball of foam. You talk into this area, and you can put that right back on there, and your microphone goes in there. And yeah, I know this looks a little chewed up. I've got dogs, and one of my puppies got a hold of this one. Damn it. Fortunately, and I keep one in my suitcase. This one's lying around the studio, mostly to demonstrate for you. Fortunately for me, they've given me a couple. But this thing works. I wasn't a believer when I first got one. It was given to me at a convention, and I was very skeptical, but it works. It really works. But you're going to need some software to record on. If you've got a Mac, you've already got it. I think it's not the easiest program to work for voiceover, but it ain't bad. And that, of course, is GarageBand. You can plug your mic right in, and GarageBand will work. And it's got several plugins for EQ and for sound effects. You don't need that much. And you're pretty much set up then. Now, say you don't want to spend the money for the Chaotica eyeball. Or let's say you're not a Mac person, you have a PC. Where there's Audacity as a free recording program that you can use on your PC, and you can set up your mic in a corner. So the corner's here, and you're looking into the corner. Say if the corner was right there, and the walls are coming out. Now you're talking into an area that, well, it would bounce. But I'm going to suggest you hang very thick curtains or put your foam pads, foam in those corners, or rock wool in those corners covered by some kind of cloth. And then you don't have to treat everything else in the room. It's a very good idea if you have shelves like I've got back here, because the sound has to hit a bunch of different surfaces, and instead of bouncing right back at you. I also have right above me here some foam on the ceiling. Now, this isn't where I work from. This is where I'm teaching and doing this. Most of the time, I'm sitting in my desk. Does it sound pretty good? Does it sound okay? I wouldn't try to make this my office for my studio for working. But it's definitely good enough in a pinch. There are some other free recording softwares that you can use. I mentioned Audacity and GarageBand. There's something called Traverso that's also available, that I think is available for both PC and Mac. Ardor, which is Mac. Jokasher, which is Windows, and an easy search of the internet, free recording programs, those will pop up for you. And I know we're going to have some questions there. Oh, another good idea for a mic, if you're not going to go with a standard condenser, and I'm going to put the little Apogee mic in the standard condenser, which is side address, which means you're looking at a microphone that's standing up and you're talking into the side. You might want to go with a shotgun microphone, which is pointing at you, long and narrow, and you're talking into the front of it. They have a tendency to reject sounds from the side. And if your room is already quiet, if your room is already treated so that you don't have a lot of sound bounce, something like a 416, which will run you about $900, is a great mic. But if you don't have that $900 money, there is the Audio-Technica AT875R. It's about $170, and it is rated very highly. And once again, without spending too much money, you can get yourself a pretty decent microphone, either the Apogee iPad mic or that Audio-Technica shotgun mic, the AT875R. Okay, let's see some questions. Let's see. Alex, I'm still offering home studio building advice. Several of you reached out after last week's shout out. Happy to keep helping. Thank you, Alex. Thomas Studio. So there's this guy who wants to do voiceover, but he's claustrophobic. That's funny. And Apogee is doing a sale currently. Now, I hope it's the same thing, Heather. You spelled it A-P-A-G-E, and it's A-P-O-G-E-E. But I'm assuming it's the same thing. Which Apogee? The iPad mic. The Apogee iPad mic, Yama. Also remember, the space is important. If you have $500, spend $350 on the space and $150 on the mic. The space is important, and that's why I say you want a space that is quiet and that will not bounce sound. And often, if a closet with clothes in it, I don't know why I didn't remember to mention that, a closet with clothes in it is the perfect space. Of course, you want to have electricity in there. You don't want to be running wires all over the place, but closet with clothes, corner of a room. All right. What's the mic called again in the chat? That is the Apogee iPad mic. Oh, yes, and some of you are answering each other. That's wonderful. Have you ever tried your 416 in your eyeball? Well, the eyeball is really much designed for your standard condenser mic that will fit snugly in that hole with the area that you talk into being right there. For a shotgun mic, you would have to cut your own hole in the back of this thing so that it's pointing there. I imagine that could work, but you would have to cut a pretty small hole, because part of what this hole does is it grabs the mic, the foam, because it grabs the mic, so it holds it in place. So you'd have to make a pretty small hole here, and I imagine it could work, but I'm not sure. You might want to test it, but at $250 a pop, that's a lot to experiment with. Excuse me. And no, I don't have a disease. Let's see. And Michael Sessoms loves his eyeball. All right. The Apogee, it's the Apogee iPad mic, but don't think that it's just for iPads. Oh, I love you guys. Pictures of it are going up. Love it. Hey, Mark Preston, how you doing, man? Keep sending those wonderful posts that you make. Lori Ballard, Mark Grau, my buddy. One day we're going to get a cup of coffee. Janessa A. Morgan joined, and Mason Guttery. Adobe Audition. Well, Adobe Audition is a great recording program, but not free. Not free. I was looking for things that are inexpensive. You sign up for Adobe, I don't have Adobe, I don't use it, but I believe Adobe is a subscription now. Yeah, it's healthy recording. Subscription now where you're paying a monthly fee. Dave Hoffman, how you doing? Daniel Davis. Let's see. I'm living in an apartment and it gets noisy, so the eyeball may be a good investment. Now, I love the eyeball as a product, but what it does mostly is eliminate the sound bounce that gives you that hollow sound. Your room still has to have a certain level of quiet. Now, one of the things you may be able to do is put a noise gate, if it's as a plug-in, a noise gate in your recording chain that will eliminate noise below a certain level. So if you've got a little bump from your neighbors next door or their music or something, you may be able to eliminate that with a noise gate. Why, thank you, Janessa. Lisa Tillis joined. Meredith Montano joined. Michael Sessom. Isn't Twisted Wave browser version free? Not that I know of. I've used Twisted Wave for a long time. I've never seen it for free. It is fairly reasonable. And now this is a Mac product, not from Apple, but working with Apple. And they may have a version for Windows now. I am not sure. But it was about $70. I think it's about in the same range for your laptop and $10 for your iOS. Love my 416? Yes, I bet you do. Where do you recommend get a demo done remotely? Well, we're living in this remote world. And speaking of demos, you should always have somebody else do it. Do not do your own demos. I wouldn't even do my own demos. You want to be objective about yourself, and you can't. You can't. It's gonna be too long. You're gonna put in the wrong things because it's the thing that you like, which may not be the thing that the industry is looking for. And a good demo producer is trying to produce something for you that is what people are looking for now and a little bit ahead of the curve. So there are a number of really good people. I do them for video game demos. Those are the only ones I'm doing now. But you got J. Michael Collins, you got Chuck Duran, and there are several other people that if you sent me a private message, I could also send you. But go with the people who do them. Go with the people who have a track record. And certainly J. Michael and Chuck Duran have very good track records. They're not the only people out there. But the $2,500 or so that you're going to spend is going to be well worth it because you're going to get a demo that will serve you in the industry. What makes your studio broadcast quality? The sound of it, the fact that there's no hum, the fact that it isn't noisy, that it doesn't have a reverbing sound, that it's clear and pure and accurate. That's what makes you have a broadcast quality booth or sound system there. The Apogee iPad Mac does not work on the iPad Pro, but it works perfectly with the regular iPads and iPhones. I don't find that to be true. I have an iPad Pro. I use it all the time. I don't know if there's some technical problem right now that you're having with your iPad Pro, but I have not had a problem with mine. This has been brought up before. If you're having a problem with it, I would get in touch with Apogee and see if or try a chat. Type in problems with Apogee iPad mic with iPad Pro, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has a solution for that. Yes. Would Apogee iPad Mac fit in the eyeball hole? It does. It does. It doesn't fit tight, but it works perfectly. It drops down there. I have one little issue with it. Is there's a volume control or an input volume control on the side, and sometimes you can, as you're putting it down, it can change that. But you just do a mic test and you stick your little finger up there and rub it this up or down, and you'll find out. Oh yeah, there it is. That's where it should be. Do you recommend Auratex Ruminator kits? I don't know about the kits. Auratex makes great foam, acoustic foam. I'm not sure what the Ruminator kit is, but I do trust Auratex to make good acoustic foam. Now, I'd have to see what that is, and maybe somebody will post it and I can take a look. And somebody else posted, the eyeball is not good for shotguns at all. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm sure a few other people have sent them notes asking them to create a product for shotgun mics. We'll see if they ever get around to it. Okay, covering the bottom hole and drilling. For one, I got one for free. I will let you know how it works. Getting my 416 next month, noise gate coolness. Yeah, if you got one for free, I wouldn't be too concerned about, for myself, doing this. I wouldn't advise other people to do it because every now and then they send me one. I just want to stay on that list. Alex, be careful. A lot of companies will steal something like Twisted Wave and let you download it for free. Be careful and support the original release. That is a very good note. There are a number of programs out there that seem like you're downloading this program, and you are, but you're also downloading some kind of virus or something to get in your computer, and you don't want that. Was nine something? Yeah, they apparently there was some talk of them designing the Kiatica for shotguns. Nothing yet. Hey, Richard Horvitz, what's going on, man? Mike Wingert, Bill Farmer, Bill Holmes, Jeff Burns. Got the whole crew here. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Britt Nolan, I will PM you about your recommendations for demo services. Thank you, Dave. You are welcome. The software noise gate and the inline high-pass filter the same? No. The noise gate is going to handle noise. A high-pass filter, certain frequencies, it's going to cut out. Artex is based where I live. Went to college with the owner. I know somebody. Yeah, I got the hookup. So Thomas Machen has the hookup, and he will ask about the kit and let us know. Something else came to mind. This is going to be a little long. I'm going to read something that a friend of mine wrote that I saw on Facebook today. Randall Ryan, real good friend of mine. I've worked with him on a number of games. He's a director. He's a casting director. And he posted this. It's a little long. Just bear with me. Hi, all. I wanted to share an observation with all of you. I debated whether I should, but there's been enough content flooding in my inbox that I thought I should share my thoughts. Because I'm both a casting and session director, I'm getting inundated with emails from actors that all say the same basic thing. I am an actor. I'm available for work from home. This is usually followed by their touting of Source Connect or ISDN or IPDIDL or whatever methodology the actor wishes to promote. Understanding that everyone is nervous and concerned about where their work might go in the short term, you also have to be cognizant that A, most already know that you can do remote work. B, if it's not worded correctly, these missives can come off as desperate or even as being opportunistic at an inappropriate time. So it's very important that you balance everything you send out with sensitivity to how it may be received or perceived. I say this because the worst thing you could do would be to inadvertently turn off people who can give you work in the future, long after this is over. So consider that instead of touting your home studio, it may be better to open dialogues with individuals that have nothing to do with work. I know that seems inefficient. I know that it seems efficient to send out mass emails, but especially given the likelihood that you have more free time, it's probably better to reach out to people as individuals right now. That doesn't mean that every email has to be entirely from scratch, but they should be personalized, and perhaps work is secondary, or even or isn't even mentioned intentionally. If the topic of remote recording comes up, great. Just tread lightly. Remember that networking is about relationships, not about sales. I think it's a really good letter. So often, when we are looking for opportunities for work, we can come off a little bit needy, a little bit begging, and nobody wants to work with that person who's real needy or maybe seems to be jumping on the bandwagon. The voice of this thing died, and now the next day you're, oh yeah, he's dead. Oh wow, you're probably looking for somebody. Hey, it could be me. So be very careful how you present yourself. I always take the attitude, look, I'm not looking for work. I'm looking to help you with whatever it is you're working on. That we provide a service. And if we are good business people, and I've always considered myself much more of an artist than a business person, but if we are going to be good business people, because so often now we're living in this do-it-yourself world, how you approach the people you're working with and for makes a difference. If you're showing up with that, I really need a job. Do you have anything right now? I heard the guy that you've been working with. I don't think he's very good. I'm better. I noticed you had a woman on there. Wouldn't you like a guy to? Stop trying to find reasons that you're better, that they need you, that the other person, and offer your services. You can talk about the clients that you've had, the clients that you have, the kinds of things you've done. All that's great. But don't get out there begging and undercutting one another with work. Just a word to the wise. One of the things he mentioned is the personalized letters. You can go on LinkedIn and you can connect with a zillion people and send them all the same, "Hi, I'm a voice actor and I'm looking for work. Hi, I'd like to connect with you," the standard letters that they do. That's not going to work all that well. My suggestion would be, since there are hundreds of people out there, put a little quality time in with each of them. Do that little research. Maybe take 5 a day, 10 a day. Find out who they are, what they do, and then send them a note that's personalized to what you think their needs might be. I can't tell you how many people connect with me on LinkedIn and they have no idea what I do. They don't realize that they're talking to a voice actor. They think I'm going to hire them for this or something else in the entertainment business that has nothing to do with me. You don't want to be that person. Okay, Randy Thomas, what's going on, girl? Jeff Burns, that's why I try to do a little tongue-in-cheek when I write up emails and inject some life into the writing. Jeff, you're always doing a little tongue-in-cheek. You're always trying to inject a little life into everything. It's why we love you. Michael Glover sending kisses to Randy Thomas. Michael, you're such a flirt. Where are we? We got some more questions here. Right is so right. Do your research. Absolutely. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Thoughts, questions? How's everybody doing? What's going on with you as we are on lockdown here? For a lot of us, working from home is not a big deal. I feel kind of like a hermit often anyway, because my tendency is I get in my studio every day. I look at it as a work day. I get up, walk the dogs, have a little breakfast, drink my coffee, come down here and work. If I have to go out, great, I go out. As a matter of fact, sometimes when you go out to work, you're like, wow, geez, I gotta go out, gotta go across town. They're taking up my time for auditions. Oh yeah, that's right. I auditioned so I could work. Okay, I get it now. Because that's our real job. Our real job as voice actors is to audition fantastically. And once you're on the job, enjoy it. Have fun. Come in, you're the pro, you're helping them out. Show up, do your thing, give them, what they want, which is you, because that's who they hired. All right. Oh, Michael Glover scored on the toilet paper today. Yes, I'm so happy for you. By the way, if you have subscriptions to newspapers, you can use them twice. Michael says, I'm staying healthy and positive here in North Texas. Hope you all are too. Yeah, you know what? And just a reminder, there's a lot of information and a lot of misinformation about this coronavirus. I have seen a lot of posts with people, the news media is hyping this up. It couldn't possibly be as bad as it is. The numbers don't lie. And yes, I know we live in a society now where there are a lot of people for whom, if they don't like the facts, they make up their own. But sooner or later, that's going to get you into trouble. And with this thing, it could get you or someone you care about dead. So don't be that person that, well, I'm young and healthy. I'm going to go out and do what I want to do because it's not really going to kill me. I might feel bad for a few days. And then suddenly grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, auntie, uncle, somebody that you know may have gotten it from you. This is us taking care of all of us. And we live as a community. Human beings need other human beings. I know in America we have that rugged individual thing, but we're a society of individual people that need one another. So let's all be safe. Your hand sanitizer, if your mask, if you've got them, keeping yourself from exposing to other people and being exposed by other people. Let's get this done. And I'm not thinking Easter is going to be the time for us to all go to church and sing the gospel. I have a feeling that a lot of those people are going to discover they're just spreading the virus again. Xavier Paul, what's going on, man? Talked about how to approach scripts with a spoken word artist approach when the copy is written poetically. Ooh, that's a very good question. A lot of times you're looking at a piece of copy that is a poem. And I'm not going to go into it a lot. Well, first of all, read it a few times. I always my 3 and 3. Read it in your head 3 times and then mouth it 3 times so you get the words in your mouth. There's somebody else's words that you're trying to make your own. But then find the rhythm of the thing that is not about the rhyme. More often than not, you want to play against the rhyme. You don't want to get in the rhythm that there's a rhyme here and here's the rhyme. And because as kids we learned all those little poems that the rhythm of the rhyme was there, the iambic pentameter was there. We want to get into the rhythm of it, and often getting into the rhythm of it steals away the message. Tell the story just like if you've got prose. The fact that there's a period here or a comma there doesn't mean that you have to honor that period or honor that comma. When I'm teaching, one of the things I say is, look, punctuation is suggested. Part of my job is to teach you to free yourself from the tyranny of words and punctuation. I was working this morning with a very talented young man, and he's been doing voiceover for a while. He's been doing well at it. But he wants to do character work. And he would approach a script, and it's what do the words say, and how do I say the words in a way that I give them meaning. I call it making the words do a dance. And although it was an okay read, it's not the read that was going to be hired because it had nothing to do with a character. You got to be the character first, then say the words. And characters are not going to say the words the way they are written in a perfect rhythm. Characters are going to find the words. They're going to pause in places that the writer could not have written in. And the only way to get there is to let go of trying to be perfect with the words and try to be perfect with the character. Who is this character? What are they thinking, feeling, doing while they're saying this? Who are they talking to? How do they feel about that person? How do they feel about what it is that they're saying? Is this stream of consciousness? What's their condition? Are they sick? Are they well? Are they tired? Are they injured? That's what you have to play, and then the words will take care of themselves. All right, and Xavier, we had a long conversation a couple weeks ago, and Xavier Paul, tremendous talent, been doing this a long time, and he's had a very good gig that we're talking about that's on hold right now because of the virus, and I just hope, man, that it comes back to you, and we'll talk about that other project. Janessa A. Morgan, this is Ask Dave Fennoy, and here you are asking about us. So kind. Life is peaceful. I've been in some virtual classes and meetings, so that helps tremendously, especially since I can't go to acting class. Absolutely. You know, one of the best things I see coming out of this are people using various platforms. Zoom seems to be the one everybody's attracted to right now, to have parties, to get together, have the same television show on, watching that show, having a glass of wine, or just getting on and having conversations about this, that, or the other, and just connecting in a way that we used to be able to, and maybe that we didn't because we were so busy, and then you got home and you did the things you had to do, and maybe every now and then you got to get out and see somebody. Well, with Zoom and FaceTime, you have an opportunity to share with one another more often. So I'm hoping that all of us can do a little bit more of that. By the way, almost forgot. Let's talk about my training. I have used mostly Skype, and that has been my habit. I do use Zoom some, but I'm also using Connection Open now. And if you want to take privates with me and you want to check out Connection Open, sign up for it. Don't pay. I'll send you the passes. And Connection Open is getting a little more play now because so many more people need to work from home. Connection Open also has an iPad app now. So don't sleep on it. It is going to be good. Connection Open. Pamela Tansey, saving my newspapers, Dave. Yeah, and I can tell you how to work with the newspapers, and you just crumple them up, real good, and crumple them up a little bit more till they get really soft. You don't want that hard newspaper against your soft booty. Vegas is shut down, but I'm staying in and positive. Yeah, imagine Vegas shut down. Wow. Yes, we do need another one. We are people who needs people. People who need people. Oh, you don't want me to sing. Virtual Easter rocks. There you go. Zoom Easter or Zoom Passover will be a thing. Well, there you go. Yeah, everybody. I never go to church, so that works. Signed, Preacher's Kid. Oh, boy. Well, you know what they say about preacher's kids, Janessa. Listening to Deepak and Oprah meditations, free right now for 3 weeks. And once again, well, thank you, Oprah. Thank you, Deepak. And thank you, Randy Thomas, for sharing that with us. We all need something to get us out of the funk. I'm going to be honest. I've kind of been in a funk. We've got this pandemic going on. For whatever reason, we as a country are behind the 8 ball. We should have been much more on top of this. And this is going to cost people lives. And we have people so worried about money. Oh, we got to get this economy back going. And who cares if grandma dies? Well, I care. Don't you care? Let me get off my high horse. Namaste, Pamela Tansey. Sandra Patterson Dyson, hi Dave. I only go to church on Easter Sunday. If I've been going all year, it's too crowded to go for that one day. Well, it's been a while since I've darkened a church's door. I'm afraid if I go in, lightning will strike me. Hey, Erlene, what's going on? Who are you? Pamela Tansey? I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Thomas, successful demo producers know the market and timing for what works in the ears of those that hire you. Absolutely. Better said than I did. And how to get the performances out of you. How do you gain that ability? When you say how do you gain that ability are you talking about to become a good demo producer? It's really knowing the market. For whatever that area is that you're working in. There's so many kinds of demos now. I remember getting the business. You had a commercial demo and maybe an animation demo, maybe a narration demo, maybe. And of course, they were on reel-to-reel then, and they went to cassette. But now you need a commercial demo. You might need a commercial demo for your character voice commercial demo, animation demo, a video game demo, a TV promo demo, a narration demo. Oh wait, make that and nature style narration demo, e-learning demo, e-learning for kids demo, lifestyle narration demo, it can get very expensive. So you need a producer that whatever the area you're working in or areas that you're working in knows how to produce that demo that will appeal to the people who are signing talent or hiring talent. That's what you're looking for. And someone that can be objective about you. A lot of times you make your own demo. One, you don't know the mechanics of how to record, how to sweeten your voice. I can always tell a demo that somebody put together themselves, are very proud of it. It may show that you have talent, but it's not going to sound right. Your voice is going to sound flat. It's not going to be deep enough in the mix or too deep in the mix. You will have not sweetened it in such a way that it just sits there and we love it. It just won't sound right. And you yourself will know that it doesn't sound right, but gosh, I don't know quite what to do with it. I wish somebody could fix this for me, but I don't want to spend the money, and it doesn't serve you. You send it to agents, and they thank you no, or just don't get back to you at all. So, Robin Meyer, Jeff Burns, that's what I did with Paula Tizo yesterday. Wait a minute. I'm not sure where that came from. What did you do with Paula Tizo yesterday? Michael Sessoms, I have an awesome Monday improv group on Skype. It's a blast and stretches your creative muscles. You know what? Improv is one of the best things you can do for voiceover, especially for commercials and animation. Getting your mind flowing, getting that pop, pop, pop. This idea comes in, that idea comes in. It's fantastic and keeps your mind fresh outside of learning to be better with commercials and animation. It'll keep your mind active. Don't forget to mention Randy Morrison's Connection Open. Oh, I mentioned it. And I have used it, and it is amazing. One of the things I like about it is an amazing headroom. It's hard to blow it out. Extremely clean recording. And however many people you have on the session, it was designed for musicians so that you could be in different places on the planet and play the same music in the same time. The further you are away, usually you have a latency. So the guy in Brazil, if you've initiated this thing in New York, the guy in Brazil is a little bit off. And then the guy in California is a little bit off, but a little bit different off. And the guy in London and the guy in Spain and the person in Africa, they're all going to be a little, well, Connection Open brings everybody to the same latency. So when you all hit on the one, you all hit on the one. And it works wonderfully for voice actors as well. And you get you get a file of yourself, your solo self, as well as a file of everybody who was on the session, as does everybody else. I could see animation being done with Connection Open very easily. I'm looking for that to be happening before too long, and this may be the time that it really begins to hit. Oh, Janessa just got the joke. Soft cripple newspaper. Mike Thomas. We're using Connection Open for some full cast audio productions that have actors from LA to the UK. Smooth and clean with almost no delay detectable. Told ya. Pamela Tansey, gotta have a plumber install on it. I'm still not sure what you're talking about. I think it's funny, but I'm afraid to laugh. Hello from Cincinnati. Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you, Joseph. I care too, bro. Michael Glover. Are you open to inviting the group? I'm interested. Are you open to inviting the group? To a Zoom? chat? Well, we'll be. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna put together a voice acting for video games workshop that's going to be on Zoom. That it'll probably be about a month or so from now. I'll be letting you know. I should know by next Wednesday, and I'll be able to talk a little bit about it then. And basically, what I'm going to do is my 2-day workshop. I'll either do it a Saturday and a Sunday. And it'll be at a drastically reduced price from the usual about $500. There will also be room for flies on the wall, as I call them, people who will not be participating in reading and being critiqued, but will pay a much smaller fee and get a chance to sit in on everything. And of course, all the participants will be able to get, will get video of the whole thing. And I'll be letting you know about that next Wednesday. Hey, Dave, I'm enjoying doing the voice classes and auditions via Zoom. Yes, it's easy to get in a funk, but we absolutely must rise above this and try our best to stay in the zone. We are all in it together. And I've seen some people that are, I'm tired of hearing this, and we're all in it together. Okay, well, maybe you're tired of it, but it's the truth. Alex Wood, you also need those demos in every language you speak, and a few of them in different accents you have. Yeah, now we got to spend more money, Alex. Thanks a lot, buddy. There are people who are truly bilingual, and if you are truly bilingual, then yeah, get your demos in more than one language. But if maybe you speak it and understand it, but your accent sucks, I don't know about doing the bilingual thing if that's the case. All right. David Kelly. Hi, Dave. Should I have a slight gap between each demo on my commercial reel? Like a half second, or can it blend in? Can it blend in too much? No, they can blend from one to one. You can slam cut them. If you put a second in there, half a second, they're going to think it's over. So no, they usually blend to blend. Now, David, this is an example of what I'm talking about. Somebody, you haven't done your research. How do you find out what a decent demo sounds like? Well, one of the things you can do is go to talent agencies in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago that deal with voiceover work, and go to their demo page and start listening to demos. See which demos work and maybe do some research. Now, what voices are working? Well, first of all, if they've been signed by an agent, that's a good indication that they're getting some work sometime. I realize there are people who've been signed and don't work that often. But a lot of us, this is what we do. I also, on the other side of that, I promise you not everybody who's working a demo is good or up to date because they're working. Nevertheless, that is the place to go to hear demos. And whatever your voice print is, whatever the age you are, you're an Asian woman that's 35 to 50. Find some Asian women 35 to 50 that are working. Now, you don't have to just listen to that. Please don't take it that way. But find out what. Let's go with more age and gender rather than race. But look, if you're a 20-something guy, listen to the demos from 20-something guys. If for some reason you have that voice that is older than you are, well, go up. But listen to what the demos are sounding like. What's on them? I was replying to Michael about the improv group when I asked for an invite. Okay, there you go. Thomas Machen, I'm in such a funk, so I need a Dave session to snap me out of it. Well, you know how to work that, Thomas, and happy to help. And it's funny. I actually feel better when I'm working with a student than just, being in the house auditioning and doing some work. When I get an opportunity to help somebody else move along the way, and there's nothing like the light bulb going on in somebody's eye. The realization they did that read and it was like, and you gave them some information. You showed them a couple of things, and now, oh, that's it. Things that they haven't considered. That works for them. And I know I'm not the only coach that feels that way. Part of the reason you do it is because it makes you feel good to make other people have success in what it is they're trying to do. Rosemary Watson joined. What's going on? And hey, Bill Holmes. Listen to a little bit of everything. There you go, Jeff. Well, listen. Oh, China Robinson. What's going on? It's 6:52, and I think I'm going to have a little dinner. Once again, listen, stay safe. Don't get too close to people. You got to see them on Zoom, text them, call them, all those things. If you want to do private lessons, visit my website, davefennoy.com, click on the Study VO tab, and next Wednesday, I will have put together this workshop. I'll probably only do about 12 people who are participants, but we can have many more who are flies on the wall. Flies on the wall get to see and hear it all. Anyway, stay safe. Love you guys, and I will see you next Wednesday. All the best.